Hey, Nir, I want to thank you again for inviting me to Tel Aviv to the office this week. It's been a wonderful experience for me.
Thank you very much for coming. Really
Yeah,
appreciate it.
my pleasure, my pleasure. Well, let's jump into it. So, I got to tell you, compute is just getting the lion's share of attention when it comes to generative AI and agentic AI. And obviously, floLIVE's been at this for quite a long time. Um, you're not necessarily building a network for modern AI, but what you're doing is really optimized for it. So I was hoping that you could share your thoughts on like, where do legacy networking infrastructure, where does that just like not deliver what is needed for today's application and workload needs?
Yeah, it's a very good question. So even before we talk about AI, and even before we talk about how AI will impact the network, we need to realize that the legacy networks, specifically when it comes to IoT connectivity networks for global customers, were not built appropriately to serve customers' needs. When we speak with customers, we basically see, like we call it, the 7 golden requirements that customers do need when they connect their things around the world. And very briefly, we talk about, of course, coverage, and then cost, and then the network availability, security, performance, the ease of use, meaning having a single SIM card all around the world, and the ability to perform troubleshooting in a very fast manner. And when you look on the legacy networks that are monolith by nature, that are based on roaming, that are based on legacy technologies, many of these needs cannot be addressed in a proper way. And what we decided to do alternatively is to build what we call the largest global hyperlocal network of the world.
I really like that descriptor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hyper, local, global.
Yeah. It's the largest global hyperlocal network in the world,
Right.
which basically means that you build an architecture that allows devices to connect locally as much as possible, meaning to local core networks,
Right.
to local, what we call packet gateways, which is the network edge, in many different regions around the world. So from a device perspective, it's local.
Right.
But from an enterprise, it's global. They have one dashboard, one API, one set of tools to manage and orchestrate all their devices globally. So it's global, but hyper-local.
Right. Right. Now you touched on security, and and I'll go back to modern AI. I mean, there are a lot of concerns around, protecting models from poisoning, prompt injection, runtime security. And I know specifically you're very focused on security, and it's a journey for you, right? You're not there yet, and this week, we were discussing some of the things that you're doing, but maybe let's start with your OT security agent, and what do you have planned for the future from a security standpoint? Because from my perspective, the perception from a lot of people in the marketplace is that IoT is easy to hack. The famous story of the thermometer in the aquarium at the casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. But what is floLIVE doing to address that security concern?
So, first of all, you're right about the notion. The notion has some roots because IoT devices in many cases are not very strong devices from a compute standpoint, from a memory standpoint. And therefore, it's harder to put something on a device that will protect the device. And therefore, the expectation is that the network, to some extent, will protect the device, or maybe a layer sitting on top of the network will do it for the devices. That's the notion in the market, and this is a true notion. This is the right way to think of it. So today you can see in the market different solutions, without naming them, different solutions that are sitting on top of the network and are listening to the network and detecting the device behaviors. And based on this analysis, they are trying to protect the device, to detect anomalies, to check for the inventory, for all the things that we call OT security.
Right.
And also customers are willing to, in a way, they know that they need to pay extra for these services because of the value that they bring to secure the devices, and also in different certification processes customers need to perform. And we think that we are the network, we are the smart network, and we can bake security within the pipe. Once the device touches the network, at this very moment, we can do all these checks that we're talking about, and in real time, not only detect and alert about a problem, but also offer a mitigation and mitigate it for the customer as needed. So what we want to do is to take all these concepts that are coming from the cybersecurity companies, building layers on top of the network, and just bake them within the network for our customers.
You know, I really like what you're doing from that network optimization standpoint. I mean, anytime you can integrate security into the connectivity stack, it's just going to be that much stronger, right? Versus a bolt-on approach. So I really like what you're doing there. I like what you're doing with the AI agents. You're also optimizing around operational efficiency. I know cost optimization is something that's coming very soon. But what really intrigues me is that you do something called illuminating, and you're taking these real-time insights, the telemetry that you're getting from the network, and you're feeding that into your AI model. So I was hoping as we wind our conversation down, you could speak to the value that customers can realize from that illumination.
Absolutely. So first of all, when you look on the architecture of floLIVE globally, from the get going, what we've built, as we mentioned before, is a global hyperlocal network, meaning we have many different network nodes around the world. And these network nodes are feeding our large data lake with network information in real time. Every bit of the network, every device action is being reported in real time to our centralized data lake. At the same time, because we have our billing platform as part of the solution, all the billing information, the usage information, all of that is also traversing towards our data lake with all the information in real time. Also the SIM information is coming there. So if you look at it, we have a huge repository of data that is fed by all these different sources,
Right.
and gives a very holistic view of all the connections on our network. And it's all coming in real time. So that is used, as you mentioned before, first of all for floLIVE, to get to our customers much better security, AI-based security baked within the pipe. It allows us to perform cost optimization for our customers and offer them opportunities to save some costs using AI that is checking everything. And it allows customers to manage their fleet of devices in a comprehensive way and detect issues in a much more accurate fashion and much faster. But as you mentioned, this is not the whole story. We know that customers are looking for ways to enrich their data feeds for their AI models so that their models will be more meaningful and help the customers to get more business value out of what they do. And we are telling our customers, we are happy to open the kimono and get you all this information. We are going to illuminate your models with our network information, with our billing information. We know how it should be structured and cleaned for the models because we are doing it for our own models.
Right.
So why don't you get a feed? We can fork the information and we can get you your feed.
Right.
So you can use it for your models to make them better with real-time network information.
Right.
That's the illumination part of the story.
Yeah. I mean, there's such tremendous value in that. And as I've spent time with the team today, I'm just impressed with just the level of granularity, number one, and flexibility that your solution provides. I mean, it's a microservices-based architecture. It is built for scale. We were joking earlier about, it's the end of roaming, right, with floLIVE.
Yeah, roaming is dead. Right.
Roaming is dead. Let's talk about network steering. In my world, in public networks, there's this whole notion and promise of network slicing, but floLIVE delivers something pretty special here. So can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Absolutely. So when you think about customers' AI implementations, they basically have in mind one of two main ways of using AI for their own needs. One is doing the AI at the edge, doing the inference at the edge, or doing it
which there's a lot of talk about these days.
Yeah, tremendous amount of traffic around doing it at the edge and the benefits and all that. And it's clear, the benefits are clear. It's about cost, it's about performance, it's about compliance and data privacy. It's about data security. So there are many good reasons why to do the inference.
Efficiency, I mean, putting compute closer to where data is created, right?
Exactly. But there are also some advantages to do it in the cloud because you can basically aggregate information from many different sources to the same model, you have much more to work on. The insights may be a little bit higher quality and all that. That's fine. But when you think of it, these two different types of implementations for AI may require different network capabilities. If you're doing AI at the edge and you run your models at the edge, it is because you want the data to stay at the edge. And if you want the data to stay at the edge for any reason, you don't want that data to traverse from one location all around the world just to be back to your edge compute component. You want it to be staying there. And to do so on a global scale, you need a global hyperlocal network.
And there are a lot of reasons to do that, right? Not to interrupt you, but there's data sovereignty, right? That's a big
Exactly.
headline right now. Just the pure performance. There's egress costs with the cloud service providers, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And all these points are basically saying, if we want to do AI at the edge, we want to be able to get the data at the edge without getting the data in and out. So for doing it on a global scale, you need to have a global hyperlocal network where devices connect locally and not connecting via roaming to servers outside the country. So this is when you talk about the edge. Another element talking about the edge is how would customers maintain the models at the edge in an efficient, with an efficient manner, meaning I want to update the models. I want to push more data down to the model. It's not only about taking data from the devices out to the cloud. It's also about updating the models from the cloud down to the edge. You need a network that is able to do something like CDN to help customers to do it in an efficient way. So this is when you talk about AI at the edge. But if you talk about AI in the cloud, the problem is exactly the opposite. You need to traverse a lot of data in real time with the right performance, with the right security guards from many, many devices to one or two centralized locations to do the inference. So this one requires different network capabilities. And again, if the devices are connected to an optimized network that takes into consideration latency and performance and security, you can also adjust the network in the same way. So what we want to bring to the market is the ability for customers to shape the network, to shape the network behavior based on their specific AI deployment. Some will do it at the edge, some will do it in the cloud. They will be able to go to the platform and shape it so that it serves these things in a proper way. And some will do a mix of the two, and we don't want to limit them as well. So we think that adaptable networks in the future are going to be very important. And the reason we can do it is because, exactly as you mentioned, when you have a solution which is software-based, with microservices, cloud native, that can be centrally orchestrated, that can be easily localized, meaning to instantiate very easily the network edges, then you can give the keys on how to shape the network to your customers and let them build it so that it best serves their AI use cases. And I think this is going to be very important in the future.
Yeah, and I think it's a very unique value proposition. I mean, today, especially when you look at how a lot of IoT devices are managed, it's just sort of with roaming, it's just a best effort, right? So I think what you're doing is very novel. It's very unique, and there's tremendous value in delivering just a better, more predictable business outcome with your technology stack.
Yeah, absolutely. We see our mission and our vision to help customers to speed up their business. And we need to make sure that what we build is very accurate towards their specific needs, the golden requirements, the AI vision they have, and protecting their assets. And this is why we do all that.
Awesome. Well, hey, Nir, I want to thank you for your time again. It's been a great visit this week in Tel Aviv.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time today. Thank you.